Is it recording now? Yeah, okay, great. So welcome everyone to week 3 of the 28-day challenge. So this week I'm really excited about this session because today we're looking at something that affects every aspect of your health, and that is obviously your metabolic system. So when people hear about metabolism, they tend to think about calories in and calories out, but your metabolism is actually far more sophisticated and actually more complicated than that. It's actually about how every cell in your body produces energy, how efficiently your body uses that energy, and also how well your hormones and blood sugar are regulated. So in today's session, we're going to break down specifically different types of exercise, and also explain exactly how each of them helps to strengthen your metabolic health. And hopefully by the end of today's session, you'll understand why these strategies work and also how to implement them in your own lifestyle. So in terms of metabolic health, we want to obviously understand how efficiently our body produces and also uses energy. So when we talk about metabolic health, we are describing our body's ability to take in food and also how it converts it into usable energy. So basically think of it as like your body's internal engine. So the better your engine runs, the more energy you actually have, and the easier it will be for your body to maintain a healthier weight. So when your metabolism is efficient, you often don't feel sluggish and you don't tend to get that mid-afternoon slump or that 3 p.m. crash, and your body also handles stress a lot better. On the other hand, when your metabolism is struggling, even things like healthy habits can feel hard to stick to simply because your body isn't producing energy as effectively. With blood sugar control, one of the biggest parts of metabolic health is blood sugar regulation. So when blood sugar swings up and down all day, it actually affects everything from your hunger and your cravings to your mood and your energy levels. And it can even impact how much fat your body stores as well. And stable blood sugar levels often mean steady energy, so you end up feeling more balanced, more calm with your mood, and also less driven towards sugary foods or highly processed foods. Exercise can play a huge role in stabilizing blood sugar, and we'll talk a bit about that in today's session as well. With hormonal balance, hormones are like your body's messaging system, and they influence your metabolism in more ways than most people realize. So hormones such as insulin, cortisol, our thyroid hormones, and estrogen, they all play a part in how your body creates and also uses energy. And when these hormones are balanced, everything will work more smoothly. Your appetite will regulate itself, your cravings become more stable and manageable, and your body becomes more effective at burning body fat. And exercise is one of the most powerful tools we have for balancing hormones naturally. With the mitochondria, these are the little powerhouses inside your cells, and the healthier and more abundant they are, the more energy your body can actually produce, and the faster your metabolism can actually become as well. Specific types of exercise, such as zone 2 cardio and strength training, can directly increase the quality and also the number of mitochondria in your cells. So when your mitochondria are functioning well, you will actually feel it immediately, and you often feel that you have better vitality, endurance, and also overall better physical health. With muscle mass, this plays a massive role in your metabolism because muscle tissue is what we call metabolically active. And this means that it ends up burning more energy even when you are resting. The more muscle you have, the higher your daily energy burnt. And even if you're just sitting at your desk, this actually increases as well. So this is why strength training is such an important part of long-term metabolic health, because when we get older, we naturally end up losing muscle as part of the aging process. So actively building and maintaining a muscle mass actually becomes essential for keeping your metabolism stronger, especially as you get older as well. Exercise is important for a variety of different reasons. Aside from obviously the mental health benefits that exercise provides, there's a lot of positives that it can add to your physical health as well. So exercise, in particular resistance training and also walking, can actually improve insulin sensitivity. So this means that your cells become more responsive to insulin, and it means that your body needs less insulin to manage your blood sugar. And this is very important because with high insulin levels, this can promote fat storage and also inflammation in the body. So when you improve your insulin sensitivity, your body becomes better at burning fat for fuel instead of storing it. And this is one of the reasons why exercise is so effective for long-term weight management. Metabolic flexibility refers to your body's ability to switch between burning carbs and burning fats, depending on what is available for fuel. And a flexible metabolism means that when you haven't eaten for a few hours, your body is able to smoothly transition into using stored fat for energy. However, when you are metabolically inflexible, you can become reliant on carbohydrates and experience crashes in your energy levels, cravings for sweets and processed foods, as well as mood swings. So exercise, in particular, steady movements like walking and zone 2 cardio can actually teach your body to become more adaptive and flexible between burning carbs and burning fats for fuel. With increasing the number and volume of mitochondria, certain types of exercise can literally tell your body to build more of the mitochondria. And as I mentioned earlier in the previous slide, more mitochondria will actually increase your capacity to produce energy. So this process, in its more scientific term, is called mitochondrial biogenesis. And over time, this can lead to better balanced energy levels, endurance, and also an increased ability to burn fat as well. And it's one of the reasons why active people often feel more energized, even if they're doing the exact same tasks as someone who is more sedentary. With chronic inflammation, this can actually slow down your metabolism and end up disrupting your hormones and can also contribute to fatigue, meaning you are less inclined to also be physically active. With exercise, this can help to reduce inflammation in the body by stimulating the release of anti-inflammatory molecules from your muscles. And these particular anti-inflammatory molecules can help your body repair tissue, regulate its immune functioning, and also improve your mood as well. So even something such as light movement can actually help bring your body into a healthier and less inflamed state. Exercise is also something that impacts hunger hormones like leptin and ghrelin, and it can also help you to restore your more natural hunger cues. So when you move regularly, you're less likely to experience intense cravings or emotional hunger, and people who move more also tend to feel more satisfied after meals because their body actually ends up becoming better at sensing when it's had enough food. So that can actually be a huge win for sustainable habit building and also more sustainable practices when it comes to portion control and also improving your diet. Now, muscle is also a very important tissue in the body as well, and it's often a tissue that's talked about a lot when we discuss the topic of exercise. To understand muscle a bit better, we have to understand that it's the most metabolically active tissue in the body. So this means that your body, and with muscle, it ends up burning more calories than fat, even if you're sitting still or doing nothing. So that basically means that with every kilo of muscle that you have in your body, that actually works around the clock, even if you're relaxing on the couch or if you're sleeping, for example. And building muscle isn't just about the physical aesthetics that it brings, it's also about equipping your body with the machinery it needs to stay healthy long term. Individuals with more muscle also tend to have what's called a higher resting metabolic rate. So the resting metabolic rate essentially determines how many calories your body burns when it's resting. So when you have more muscle, this baseline energy actually increases, which makes it easier for you to manage your weight without constant dieting. So essentially, muscle helps to elevate your metabolism and helps keep your body burning more energy, even if it's in a rested state. And with blood glucose, muscle acts like essentially a sponge for glucose. So the more muscle you have, the better you are at managing your blood sugar levels because your muscle will essentially soak up that sugar more efficiently, just like a sponge. So that means fewer spikes in your blood sugar levels, fewer crashes in your energy levels as well, and also better long-term metabolic health. And active muscle also releases those anti-inflammatory molecules, which are called myokines, and these help to reduce whole body inflammation and also support the immune system and also improve your brain health as well. And this is why one of the most common reasons for reduced chronic disease is actually movement or physical activity. And in terms of aging as well, from around age 30 onwards, we naturally lose muscle each decade unless we actively work to preserve it. So this loss is one of the major reasons why metabolism slows as people get older. So that's why strength training is a really essential form of physical activity because it actually prevents that age-related decline as much as possible. So now we'll discuss a few different types of physical activity. So these are some things that you can do in the comfort of your own home, as well as in a more formal gym or training environment. So the first type of exercise that we'll be discussing is resistance training. So resistance training is able to improve metabolism in a few different ways. So resistance training can actually increase the number and also the quality of mitochondria in our body cells. So remember, it doesn't just build muscle, it also improves the quality and the functioning of your cells. So basically, every single time you're working a particular muscle group, you end up signaling a message to your cells to produce more mitochondria and also improve the quality of the existing mitochondria that you have. And this actually helps to increase your metabolism. With insulin sensitivity, as I mentioned earlier, more muscle basically helps you to regulate your blood sugar levels by acting as a sponge. So when you train your muscles, they will tend to pull more sugar from your bloodstream to use as fuel. So this effect actually continues even after you finish your exercise and your resistance training, and it can mean that your body becomes more effective at managing blood sugar with lower amounts of insulin. And this improvement in insulin sensitivity is one of the most powerful metabolic benefits of strength training. In terms of increased muscle mass, this has to be paired with a quality diet. So resistance training often creates tiny little tears in your muscle fibers, and your body can actually rebuild them to become stronger, but it's not able to do that without the right nutrients. And protein in particular is that essential nutrient for rebuilding muscle. So when your diet supports your training, you'll often see long-lasting improvements in your muscle tone and also in your metabolic health because you're supporting that increase in your muscle mass. In terms of recommendations for resistance training, we typically would advise around 2 to 3 sessions a week of resistance training. So this is often what we call a sweet spot for the average person. It's enough frequency to stimulate strength gains and to also build muscle, but it's also spaced out enough to allow for proper recovery. And the reality is you don't need to be training every single day because in fact recovery tends to happen the recovery days where you are not as physically active and giving your body a bit of a rest and break from the resistance training. These recovery days are typically where the muscle building actually happens. In terms of full body movements, we would also recommend this. So full body movement examples are exercises like deadlifts, squats, and also rows, because this engages multiple muscle groups at once. So these movements often give you more bang for your buck and also strengthen your entire body and help to mimic real life movements as well. And they're also incredibly time efficient because you're working out multiple muscle groups in one movement. With slow and controlled reps, these help to increase muscle activation and also reduce injury risk and creates more tension in the muscle, which is what helps to stimulate growth. So when you're moving too fast, momentum can obviously take over and you often miss the opportunity for the muscle fibers to actually do the work. And focus on form, not heavy weights. Good technique is particularly important, and it ensures that you're strengthening the right muscle groups and also protecting your joints as well. And you can always increase the weights later. So it's actually far better to lift lighter with better technique than it is to lift heavy and potentially compromise your form and end up injured and physically inactive as a result of that. NEAT is the next form of exercise that we'll discuss, which is otherwise known as non-exercise activity thermogenesis. So there's some examples there of NEAT, but as you can probably see, there is a common theme of almost like incidental activity or stuff that you would do in an ordinary day that you might not actually consider to be exercise. So walking is a great example of NEAT, and walking is obviously accessible, and it's actually one of the most effective metabolic tools we have. Walking itself as an exercise can help you lower your blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and also improve your mood as well. And it's also something that you can easily incorporate into your day without needing a lot of extra time or equipment as well. Standing is another thing. Standing is something that most of us will probably do during the day as part of our incidental movement. But standing throughout the day can actually counter the metabolic slowdown that comes with long periods of sitting. So even a few minutes each hour helps to activate your muscles, improve blood circulation, and also boost your energy levels as well. So for example, if you work a desk job, having a standing desk can actually have a big impact on your metabolism, or simply just taking a desk break if you don't have a standing desk and going for a little walk around the office. That can also be something that improves your metabolism if you have a very sedentary lifestyle. Fidgeting is also another example, and it might sound very silly, but even tiny movements like tapping your foot can actually help you to burn calories and also increase your circulation. So these little small movements add up over the day and also contribute more to your total energy burn than most people realize. And of course, housework like tidying the house, cleaning the house, mopping the floors, carrying laundry, that also counts as well in terms of NEAT. So housework can actually elevate your heart rate, and it also can engage different muscle groups depending on what you're doing. So you don't actually need to work out necessarily for movement to have value in terms of improving your metabolism. And any sort of incidental activity outside of your workouts, these are also things that help to improve your metabolism. Things like taking the stairs instead of taking a lift, walking to the bus stop instead of driving directly to the bus stop and getting off there. Taking the stairs, adding small bits of incidental activity like carrying groceries, for example. These are all things that help you to significantly improve your metabolic health without it feeling like a structured exercise program. In terms of NEAT, it's important because of the following reasons. So it helps you to also improve your blood glucose control, just like resistance training. So when you end up moving more frequently, your muscles help you clear glucose from your bloodstream more effectively. And this can help you prevent spikes and dips in blood sugar and also reduce the burden on your insulin as well. And it's also one of the simplest and most powerful ways to stabilize your energy levels. With fat oxidation or fat burning, steady low-level movements actually teach your body to use fat for energy more efficiently. So when you improve your fat oxidation or your fat burning, you end up relying less on carbohydrates as the preferred energy source, and you can actually become more metabolically flexible, meaning your body is able to switch between fat burning and carb burning more effectively. And this is actually essential for both stability and energy levels as well as fat loss. Regular light movement can also help to regulate your hunger hormones, making you less prone to overeating. And also long periods of sitting can also slow down your metabolism and decrease your calorie burning. So with NEAT in particular, this helps to counteract this by reactivating your muscles and also stimulating blood flow. So even a few minutes of movement, even if it's not super intensive in nature or in the form of a structured exercise program, this can actually make a big difference to your metabolic health and also your body's ability to burn fat as a preferred energy source. With recommendations for NEAT, These are a few of the recommendations that we would advise for the average person. So 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day is a realistic range that can help you to support your blood sugar control, fat burning, and also your cardiovascular or your heart health. So you don't need to do 8,000 to 10,000 steps in one go. Spreading steps throughout the day is also just as effective. And walking after meals can also help to significantly reduce blood sugar spikes as well. So this can mean that you end up feeling more energized and you don't get that post-meal slump. And it can also help you to reduce cravings later in the day. Standing for 10 minutes each hour also helps you to re-engage your muscles because you end up breaking up your sitting time and also basically waking up your metabolism as part of this. So you can always set a reminder or pair it with a task like making tea or stretching because these sorts of interruptions to your day in terms of not sitting down for too long can actually keep your metabolism active and also intentionally increase your incidental activity if you are sedentary. So if you know you're going to be having a more stationary day, be intentional about adding small movements. So this could be pacing during phone calls, stretching, doing a few squats. All of these little small movements count. And that is the whole purpose of NEAT. It's essentially small movements that sort of account for incidental exercise or incidental activity that end up having a big impact on your energy output during the day. With zone 2 cardio, this is another form of exercise. So, in terms of what zone 2 cardio is defined as, it's essentially a low to moderate level intensity form of aerobic activity that is suitable for long periods of time and uses around 60 to 70% of your heart rate. In terms of understanding what that actually feels like in terms of exercise, because not all of us have a heart monitor or anything like that when we're exercising, when you do zone 2 cardio, you should be able to maintain conversation. So, a simple way to know you're in that zone 2 range is to do the talk test. Essentially, when you are doing your cardio workout, you can still talk, but you can't sing. And if you're gasping for breath, you've probably gone too high with your cardiovascular workout. So, this conversational pace is generally ideal for building that metabolic efficiency. And in terms of zone 2 cardio, zone 2 actually means that your body uses fat as its primary fuel source. So this can actually teach your body to become better at fat burning in everyday life situations. And in terms of mitochondrial efficiency, sustained and gentle cardio can also help your mitochondria produce more energy more efficiently. And this means that it leads to better stamina, less fatigue, and also improved metabolic health. Um, and in terms of the importance of zone 2 cardio, it also helps to reduce cortisol levels as well. So, unlike high intensity workouts, zone 2 cardio can actually help calm the nervous system and it actually helps to lower cortisol and therefore reduce stress and improve your recovery as well. So, this can actually make zone 2 cardio a really effective workout for individuals who are feeling quite burnt out or feeling quite overwhelmed in their everyday life as well. With high intensity interval training, this is a type of exercise that involves basically short bursts of high intensity movement and also a period of recovery or low intensity movement. So, with this short bursts of movement, often involves pushing your body to its limit for a short duration of time. And these sorts of intense bursts challenge your cardiovascular system and also help you to build strength and power. And since they're short in duration, you're often able to work harder than you would in a steady state of exercise. With improved insulin sensitivity, high intensity intervals drive sugar into your muscles a lot more quickly, and this can help to improve insulin sensitivity both immediately after and also over time as well. And this can actually be quite beneficial for anyone who is managing blood sugar concerns. So, if you are pre diabetic or if you're type 2 diabetic, for example, high intensity interval training can be quite effective at helping you manage your blood sugar levels, particularly if you're experiencing any high blood sugar readings. And in terms of burning calories in less time, HIIT compresses a large amount of energy being expended into a very short window of time. So if you are often quite short on time, it's a great way to get a productive workout because you are obviously maximizing your energy output into that short window of time. And also, as well, with the recovery periods, these are essentially what allow you to push hard in the next interval. So the contrast between that effort and rest creates the unique metabolic effects of high intensity interval training. So, in terms of the key exercise strategies to support fat loss and muscle preservation, in a typical 7-day week, this is sort of the rough template or guide that you would be using to help you maximize that fat loss and also maximize muscle preservation. So we would be aiming for around 2 to 3 resistance training sessions a week. So these sessions essentially form the foundation of a strong and efficient metabolism, and spacing them out, as I mentioned earlier, helps with recovery and muscle growth as well. And the goal is to consistently stimulate the muscles without overwhelming them. In terms of daily walking and NEAT, this should be done daily. So walking and incidental movement help you to keep your metabolism running smoothly all day. And these low stress activities help you to improve all things like blood sugar, reduce inflammation, and also support fat burning as well. If you can achieve also 2 to 3 zone 2 cardio sessions as well a week, these cardio sessions will help you to improve your endurance and also strengthen your heart and train your body to burn fat more efficiently. And also, an optional HIIT session is also something that you can consider. And this is often a bonus if you enjoy intensive training sessions because they can provide a great metabolic boost. But too much HIIT can actually not be great for the body because it can increase your stress hormones. So, in summary, building muscle is something that helps to directly improve metabolism, and muscle often gives your metabolism that long-term support. All types of exercise support metabolism. So whether you do strength training, cardio, or HIIT training, even things like NEAT or walking, all of these offer their unique benefits. So when you combine them together, you often get a much more well-rounded advantage. Zone 2 cardio helps you to build efficiency. So, Zone 2 specifically helps you to improve your ability to use fat as fuel and also helps you to reduce stress and also build your energy systems as well. Too much HIIT or high intensity interval training can actually increase your stress hormones. So, that can often lead to burnout and elevated cortisol, which can actually slow your progress, particularly with fat loss. And the most important thing is that consistency is key. So it's important to not feel like you have to push yourself hard every single day, but rather find an exercise routine that you feel that you can maintain on an ongoing basis and is sustainable for you because your metabolism loves routine at the end of the day. So yeah, thanks for joining me for this session in terms of discussing exercise strategies to improve your metabolism. So hopefully you have a clearer understanding of how different types of exercise affect your body and also how to build a more sustained and balanced routine with exercise. So I'll just pass it on to Kate for the Q&A.
Thank you, everyone. We will just stop recording and take this offline for the Q&A. So I hope you all learnt something today, and thank you very much, Wendy, for presenting.